Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Marv on Air. This is the second week we're doing the show, and that's because it's the second week of college football. Guess what happens in week 2? Iowa State goes to Iowa City, and they dethrone the Hawkeyes as the best team in college football in the state of Iowa. Joining me today to talk all NFL, all college, and all of everything in the sports world are the two in Ames, Joey Mayer and Alex Redbone, and then joining us in probably the worst shirt I have ever seen in the history of shirts being worn by a human is Chase Malloy. Chase, can we get that thing off? Can I get you to take it off? You look a lot better with it off.
Absolutely not. I do look good with my shirt off, but not today.
I can't wait to see that shirt burned after Iowa State. They just gonna destroy. They're gonna destroy the Hawkeyes. But first, oh, I think we glitched, but I think we're back. We should be good. We got a lot of college football to break down. That's why college football is so special. We've got 95 games the first week, week 1 after week 0. You remember, obviously, week 0 was back in Ireland with Georgia Tech and Florida State. Week 1 had about 95 games that had covers of what, 34 and a half, 35 and a half. These games were supposed to be complete blowouts, and a lot of them were. Redden, our college football correspondent, can you break down exactly kind of what happened in week 1? What should we pay attention to? What was a bit of a fluke? And what can we rely on moving forward?
Yeah, the beauty of college football is that there is so many games. Sure, some of them aren't great, especially here in non-conference play, but there's still a couple non-conference game crossovers between Power 4 now teams, and a couple of them are pretty good. One game I have of note is Florida State versus Boston College. Nick brought up Florida State there in his little intro about college football, and it turns out Florida State still not good. All right, they lost 28-13 to Boston College. It was down in Tallahassee, and Boston College looked in control the entire time. Florida State looked terrible. Mike Norvell looks like he lost the team. DJ Ukulele or whatever his name is looks terrible. He should probably go back to the Pac-2. He'd probably do a little bit better there playing Oregon State versus Washington State every week. But here he is in the ACC, supposed to be carrying a fairly talented Florida State team, but for whatever reason, they just cannot put it together. Florida State loses to Boston College in week 1, even though it's their second game. They lose that game 28-13.
Yeah, that one was unbelievable. Oh, we got some echo. What the fuck is going on? But I don't know. But I do know this. Florida State is actually just completely terrible now. I don't know exactly where they went wrong. I don't know if it's the offense. I don't know if it's the defense. I don't know if it's the coaching. I know DJ Ukulele in his own stadium had Stadium Pulse on 100. I saw a meme where the quarterback with his shaking hands is DJ every time he goes back to pass. It was horrible. I mean, just dog shit all the way around. And we'll touch on dog shit a little bit later. But man, there were just so many great games. And Joey, did you tune in to very many college football games? You are our NFL guy. We're gonna get deep into the NFL in just a few minutes.
To be honest, that Florida State Boston College game, I think Boston College just came out with that new offense that they've been talking about. They got the new the running offense, and man, did they fucking manhandle the Florida State defensive line that's supposed to be this super great Florida State defensive line. Why is Florida State pissed off that they couldn't get in the playoffs when the Florida State defensive line is getting manhandled by the Boston College O-line?
I agree.
It does.
No, that was the biggest takeaway I had last year was that Georgia was the one that should have been upset from getting left out of that college football playoff. And here we are 2 weeks for Florida State, 2 weeks into the season, and they have like less than a 1% chance to make the 12-team playoff. They would have been absolute toast if this was a 14 playoff after last week, and yet they give them the 12 teams. Hey, you know what? You can lose your first week. You got space. You totally will be fine. And then they blow it against Boston College, and there's just no chance they're getting in, if you ask me. I don't think they're a good football team. I think Boston College looked really good, and I don't know if Boston College is good or not. That's just how bad Florida State played. Chase, did you watch that game, and do you have any main takeaways from it? Because it was kind of the talk of the town.
I did watch it. It was a good game. And my side of things, I took Boston College to cover 16.5, so that was no sweat. What I got out of it is Florida State cannot cover the run. They just can't stop it. I don't know what is wrong with that defensive line. They're playing a lot of selfish ball, it seems like, trying to get their stats up, and that's not working. So, I mean, Boston College looked great with that Castellanos, I think is his name. He's
Thomas
a hell of a thank you. He's a hell of a dual quarterback. The options working everywhere. I mean, just manhandled them.
It was a lot of fun to watch, actually. As someone who doesn't really care which way it goes, Boston College, it was fun. And then another really fun game to watch was USC LSU. That game kind of started a little bit slow. I think it was like 6-6 at one point. It was pretty defense heavy, but all of a sudden, big play after big play after big play. USC, are they going to be good this year, Redden? They look like they might be title contenders somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I love USC primarily because of their quarterback. I think Miller Moss is really good. He sat for 2 years behind Caleb Williams. He's in a Lincoln Riley offense, which is incredibly quarterback friendly. I mean, you look at the quarterbacks in just the last 5 years that Lincoln Riley's coach, you're talking about guys like Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams. I mean, that's a pretty loaded list. And now he's got another guy in there who, even though it is his first season starting, he still has that 2 years of experience behind Caleb Williams and being in Lincoln Riley's system. I think that favors Miller Moss being pretty well. I talked about it a little bit last week that I like him as like a Heisman kind of. I guess last week you would have called him a dark horse. Now he's starting to move up into the favorites talk. Preseason he was 35-1 to win the Heisman. Now he's 22-1 to win the Heisman. So I'm big on USC. I can't stand USC. But I think Lincoln Riley's a very good offensive coach. They have a new defensive coordinator in there, not Alex Grinch. So they should be able to tackle a little bit more. That was one of my concerns, was how is their defense going to hold up against LSU? LSU, I mean, thankfully Brian Kelly's their head coach, so they just don't win big games. But overall, I'm big on USC this year. I think Miller Moss is going to be really, really good. And I don't hate them to sneak into the playoff as like maybe like the 10-8 seed, somewhere in that range. I could see them losing 1 to 2 games this year.
Could LSU sneak in after that poor performance?
Yeah,
I mean, statistically.
I think the biggest takeaway from this is like, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw LSU down the line. You know, this is like their one loss down the line, and you say, I'm surprised USC got away with that one win. And we'll be seeing how USC does as well.
I don't hate that take.
No, I don't either, and that I do kind of like the way scheduling in college football goes. I think like 8 to 10 years in advance. So the 12-team playoff obviously had been in talks, but I think for us to see full swing schedule changes, it's going to take a few years. But
Yep.
I think more teams are going to start scheduling these big games week 1 because, like, you kind of need them. I mean, yes, you get the bye if you are the conference champion, but also the ranking is still as important because you want that home playoff win or a home playoff game if you're not the division or the conference champion. Excuse me, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. So I think we will see more of this USC LSU off the rip, and obviously we're gonna get our Texas over CSU 52-0 wins. Did you guys see St. August or SFA out of Texas? Did you see that?
I did not.
Chase, did you see this?
What was it?
They were up 70-0 at halftime.
Oh, I did see that.
70-0.
That's the game that they called, or they made the fourth quarter like 5 minutes or something.
They made both the third and the fourth 5 minutes. Unbelievable.
About that.
That was actually insane. I think we'll still see that. I think we will still see that moving forward. But also, I think there's a chance that we get more of these USC LSU lineups right away. I really do. Touching on those blowout wins, though, Miami and Cam Ward, are they the real deal? Is Florida bad? What's the deal? What's going on in the big old state of Florida?
I mean, Cam Ward looked incredible. Like, he looked like a Heisman front runner. He was poised. He was confident. He looked really, really good. But also Florida was, some people were saying they were going to be all right. They have the hardest schedule in college football, so everyone kind of wrote them off. They still have SEC talent, but I just don't think Florida is very good. They're coached by Billy Napier. I don't think he's very good. He's never really been proven anywhere. He was successful in the Sun Belt, but that was about it. I would expect, the thing is, Miami's in the ACC, and Florida State looks terrible. Clemson got smoked by Georgia. So it's like, who's left in the ACC? Virginia Tech didn't look very good. They were supposed to be all right. NC State didn't look incredibly impressive. So there's a chance that Miami, they could hypothetically run the table and be ranked or be like the 1 to 4 seed realistically here if they run the table, and that would set them up pretty well in the college football playoff. I don't know. I don't think they're as legit as your Georgias or your Alabamas or your Ohio States solely from a talent perspective, but in terms of getting into the playoff with a good seat, Miami's looking pretty good right now.
I agree. And touching on that really quick, it's something that I don't know if a lot of people necessarily know this. I think most people should by now. But say Miami is ranked 5th or 6th or 7th at this final week and they win the ACC, they will still get a first-round bye. So if they can just sweep the ACC, like, they'll get the bye. And then is it all neutral site after the first round? Do you guys know? I actually don't know that. So then they're in. Then, you know, they don't need to play on the road necessarily. It'll be a neutral site unless it's in Georgia in Atlanta. But I think they can very easily win the ACC. Joey, how are we doing after Virginia Tech kind of didn't really come to play in week 1?
I think Vanderbilt just showed Virginia Tech what's up, and honestly, Vanderbilt they look dominant in that game, and I think we're gonna have to see what happens in the future with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, maybe they're good. Maybe Virginia Tech is bad.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's only week 1, so I'd like to revisit what we're saying right now and watch my words with Vanderbilt.
Well, certainly we do know that Florida State is just plain bad. But Chase, did you have anyone that you were watching that you said, hey, maybe these guys could be pretty good, or someone that you were high on that kind of slipped through the cracks and you say, well, it's probably Iowa. Iowa's going to stink this year. They're going to be dog shit. They're going to be terrible. They're going to win one game. They won their one game already. I wouldn't be surprised if that was your pick. I know it's mine. I know from what I've seen, they are probably the worst team in all of college football. But what did you think?
I'll just break down Iowa a little bit. I'm pretty high on them now. I mean, it's going to be tough to do much in the college football playoff against like teams like Bama and Georgia, obviously. But offense started off extremely slow. It was disappointing to see. And then halftime rolled around. The coaches probably kicked him in the butts a little bit, and then we came out and dropped 40 on their heads. Cade looked great in the second half, 13 for 14, I believe, 3 touchdowns. We actually have more wide receiver touchdowns this year in the past 2 years or 2 years total in the past. What's so funny? Damn it!
I'm glad you're so high to the Little Hawkeyes after going 40-0 against the Illinois State Redbirds. Sorry, Illinois State, but yeah.
What got me was, well, we were a little disappointed with the slow offensive play coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
That's like the last 25 years of Iowa.
Yeah.
That was standard.
25 is ridiculous.
You're right. It should be 50.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, it should be 60, 80, 90 years since the fucking dawn of Iowa football. It's been bad. It's been bad. Let's just call it how it is. But hey, there might be a new leaf turned over in Iowa City. You mentioned it. 3 touchdowns to wide receivers in this last game. They had 2, I think, all of last year, and 3. Was it 3 all of last year and 2 all of the year before that? Does that sound right?
I think it was 2 last year, 3 the year prior.
Which is, I mean, that's just actually kind of crazy considering
Illinois State hasn't seen a Division I team since September 3rd in 2022. Okay, why are we talking about Iowa right now?
It's 40. It was 40-0. I mean, they put on an impressive offensive show there.
I'd be glad you go 40. I expect 70-0 against a fucking high school team, practically.
Sorry. Do we want to go into how Iowa State did this weekend or what?
Unbelievable. Like, we're winning the national title. End of story.
Yeah, we're waiting on the national title.
I don't care. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. You would have seen this already. MarvOnAir_show. It's easy to find. There's not that many people with that many characters in their name. Most people keep it concise. Iowa State is going to win the national title this year. However, we did have an injury at linebacker. We'll touch on that in just a second. And there was some spectacular punt plays made in that game. Chase, you know this to be true. But let's touch on the punt plays in Iowa. Was there a potential friend of the program that had a pretty sick play this weekend?
There was a sick play done by Caden Weegan. Big punt return. Took it. We were sitting in the end zone that he came towards, went crazy. Terrible block in the back. It was very evident. I'm not going to act like the refs just had it out for us there. It was pretty evident. I mean, I didn't see the flag come out originally, so I thought they let it slide. So I got pretty pumped up, but then got called back. Didn't matter. I expect I'm going to go out on a limb and say 5 more returns out of Caden Weegan this season.
5 more touchdown returns?
Wow.
Minimum.
Wow. Honestly, though, the way that kid runs, very, very possible. That kid is electric. Speedy Gonzalez just hitting the cuts. I mean, I've seen, if you follow him on Instagram, you'll see that he's posted different videographers' shots of it. And the way that he's cutting, but it looks like he's just swimming through the field. It's actually unbelievable. I would not be surprised. I want to see him more on the offensive side of the ball, see if he can get the gears rolling there. But we all know Iowa doesn't really know how to run an offense, so I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't see any snaps. That would be, honestly, a bit of a tragedy in my opinion. Chase, you might be the most level-headed Iowa fan I've ever seen after last year against Minnesota when everyone said, oh, the refs are screwing Iowa, and Cooper DeJean's hand thing, which he obviously called fair catch for.
No.
It's what. So Chase is automatically at the bottom of that.
I will not stand for that. That was not a fair catch. We will not know.
Chase, that was last year. We're looking to the present. Today is the present. We are, we're unwrapping the present, and we're going to look into the future. The past is the past. Speaking of the past, we're going to touch on it, and actually, just for a second, Caleb Bacon injured out of Iowa State linebacker. Joey, will you break down that injury for me and what it means for the Cyclones? Because yes, we're going to win the national title. Now we're going to do it without one of our best defensive players. Is that the case here going out of Ames?
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the most terrible injuries that Iowa State could have, especially in the second defensive drive. Especially because Caleb Bacon is one of the main linebackers that our defense coordinator has focused our whole entire defense around. So, hurts to see a guy walk out on the field, barely putting pressure on his leg. A lower left leg injury. He got full surgery. He's going to get surgery on it, and I think Campbell said he's going to be out indefinitely. And honestly, it's Campbell right here says it's a tough blow for Caleb because he's done such a great job. But honestly, I think it's not just a tough blow. It's honestly a cannonball to the chest. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't love it. But I do know if there's one thing to be true, it's that Iowa State will find a way. We'll find some kid off of form out of Clarion, Iowa, who's really good at throwing hay bales, and he'll go out there and he doesn't know how to play. It's like a water boy situation. He doesn't really know how to play. He just knows how to hit hard. And we'll find a way to get somebody out there that can fill his gap, and we're on our way to the national title. Chase, you said last week.
Forever true.
Yes, Chase, you said it last week. Iowa State's going to win the Big 12. And now, with that 1 seed, we're going to be the number 1 ranked team in the nation. We're going to take that bye. We're going to rest up, and then we're going to just mow down the competition. And I hope to God we play Iowa in the second round because they'll be the 12 seed, and Iowa State will be the 1 seed, and we're going to wreck their shit. And it's just going to be the same thing that happens this weekend. Now, speaking of wrecking their shit, Notre Dame. That was a hell of a game. It wrecked my shit watching it. It was really close. Redden, will you please break down that game because it was kind of in that main slate when Idaho was playing Oregon. That was a really close game. If you didn't tune into that one, is Oregon kind of bad or is Idaho just that was their Super Bowl? I don't know. There was a couple other games going on. Washington was about to start, so maybe a lot of people didn't necessarily tune in with the audio issues that Kirk Herbstreit and Reese Davis were going through. It wasn't exactly the most enjoyable listening experience. Redden, what happened there? Should we be focusing on this at all?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the big takeaway from the Notre Dame A&M game is that it was kind of 2 teams that a lot of people were like, hey, both of these teams could be pretty good. We're going to find out here pretty quick. Both of them kind of have this revamped offensive look and have a lot of new faces, but they're supposed to be pretty good. What ended up happening was A&M's quarterback looked terrible, and Notre Dame's quarterback looked sufficient. He's Riley Leonard. He's from Duke last year. And it just felt like Notre Dame might not be great, but they're going to be good. And their schedule is extremely, extremely easy. They're favored every single game from here on out. They're not going to play anyone because they can't win a conference. The highest seed they can get is a 5 seed, but that's a home game. And so there's a very, very good chance that Notre Dame is undefeated, the 5 seed, gets a home playoff game, and then just sees what happens from there. Notre Dame has no real tests left. A&M looks like they're probably not going to do a whole lot this year in terms of the college football playoff, but Notre Dame is definitely a team that come November, December, people are going to be talking about winning the national championship just because they'll be probably undefeated, even though they aren't really as convincing as, again, the top cream of the crop programs like Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State are.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's there it is. The question is, obviously Notre Dame's going to get into the college football playoff. We know this, but can they, answer the bell at home? Can they kind of make some noise going forward? My personal thought and opinion, no. I don't think they're going to play tough enough competition to be ready. I think that they're not that great of a team, especially when you look at some of these other absolute powerhouses. And that's just the reality of the situation. But they're going to make it in, as they actually kind of used to do a lot in even the 4-team playoff. Is more than they should have, in my opinion. But it's an interesting thing that they can only get the 5 seed. That's just the way that it goes. Now, let's look forward. Last few things here on college football before we dial it in on the NFL. Looking forward, we'll go Iowa State, Iowa last. Redden, I want to go to you. I know I just came to you first, but you're wearing that Nebraska hoodie. Looks unbelievable. I couldn't ignore it for any longer. Nebraska, Colorado. Could be a great game, actually, depending on how things play out. Dylan Areola, or whatever his name is playing really good. And Colorado, obviously, talking their talk, walking their walk after one hell of a game. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if it should have been that close. But is Colorado going to beat Nebraska? Because I think they are. Honestly, I think Colorado's better than Nebraska this year.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that, you obviously didn't watch both games. Nebraska looked really, really well. And here's my thing. Like, yes, I'm a Nebraska fan. People can call me irrational. People can call me crazy. That's fine. Most of the people doing that are Iowa fans, so it just doesn't matter really what they say. But Nebraska looked solid. They did what they were supposed to do. They answered every call. They played UTEP, so it's not like it's an impressive win. You're not like, oh, wow, blown away. But they took care of business. And that's a big, big step forward compared to some of the Scott Frost teams, right? Where it's like, we're going to lose to a Troy. We're going to play South Alabama close. Under Matt Rule, it just feels like that's not going to happen, and Nebraska's going to be able to win the games they should win. That being said, they're 7.5-point favorites against Colorado right now. Colorado has no offensive line. They have no defensive line. They essentially have two of the top probably 10 to 15 players in college football, and then they have an FCS team around them. Is that enough to win 2-3 games this year? Probably.
And
they already got one
against
out of the way against the FCS team. I just don't see them having enough talent up front to be able to play with Nebraska the way that they need to have talent there. Nebraska has a very good defensive line. They have a solid secondary. They have a good linebacking core. Shedeur Sanders was running for his life against North Dakota State. A Division I defensive line is going to sack him probably 6 times. He doesn't necessarily – when he throws the ball, he's probably one of the best pure passers in college football. He's just not really going to have time to do that enough to where Colorado is going to be able to score probably more than 3 times. And Nebraska's offense with Dylan Raiola looked extremely competent. They didn't look the most explosive, even though they did have big plays, but that's against UTEP, so there could just be a talent disparity there. But Nebraska looked like they could run the ball. They have a running back committee that is very, very talented and just wants to run vertically. They don't go left to right a ton, but they're going to run it right at your face. And Colorado's defensive line, I just don't think is going to be able to keep up with us, quite frankly.
Well, I'd like to know what the over-under is on that. Chase, if you could get on that, I would love to know that number, because I think the over is what I'm going to take in this game, because you're right. Nebraska can run the rock, okay? And Areola is going to be blowing smoke all over Colorado. He's going to be unbelievable. I'm sure of it. But guess what? Travis Hunter is legendary. And Shedeur Sanders is going to find a way to get him the ball. And I don't know how the hell Travis, he catches the craziest passes. So all Shedeur has to do is get it close enough. Sure, he might get sacked 6 times, okay? But on the rest of those plays, that's when magic happens, and that's when we end up with a 60 to 65 final score, 60 to 66 maybe. Let's not say that. Let's say 70 to 76. Let's say it that way. And I mean, but honestly though, because Travis Hunter looked unbelievable, just the plays he was making, I think he played every single snap, or at least up until the third quarter, I think he did. And it's Nebraska versus Shedeur and Travis Hunter. Chase, do you have that over under for me?
Yeah, it's pretty high. It's at 59.
That's not high enough.
I mean, that's a lot of points.
Not high enough. I mean, Nebraska, yes, they are not known for their points, but they're playing Colorado. I'll give you that. But also Colorado playing Nebraska. So, I mean, we could see an offensive shootout here. I'm going to take the over. I'm probably going to get it wrong, and it'll be 7-4 final score, 2 safeties. So, obviously I'm not the betting master. That's Joey. But I think that'll be a really fun game. I'm actually really, really excited to see what that looks like, if Shedeur and Travis Hunter can get it done, or if it'll be really just the Nebraska show. Now, speaking of the show, the big house, Michigan hosting Texas. Chase, they got to be favored in this, right? I mean, they're coming off their national championship. They won week 1. Texas is new to the SEC, right?
Did we lose Chase?
Chase must be okay, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Welcome back.
I don't think he's back. I think yep, there it is. Okay, Red, while Chase is figuring that out.
Good preview of the Hawkeye offense right there.
Yeah, yep. Literally getting absolutely
running
nothing
extremely
done.
efficiently.
Can I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, honestly, Texas versus Michigan. Give me Michigan. Everyone's on Texas. Texas. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the fucking Longhorns. Horns down, okay? Michigan has their defense, and they're going to control Texas, all right? Michigan is at home, okay? And they're going to score on Texas, all right? Texas is going to be a little castaway on the SEC island, and they're going to drown, and they're going to go nowhere, okay? Give me Michigan's running game, and give me their offensive line, and Texas's they're just not going to do it, okay? They're coming to the big house, and they're not going to do it, okay?
It seems like Arch Manning has it, though. It seems like Arch Manning has the swagger, right? I mean, am I wrong? No, but he's bringing it to the sideline.
Swagger.
He's bringing it to the sideline. He's got the juice.
Give a crap about Peyton Manning's sperm, okay?
Jeez. I don't think it was his sperm, was it? Wasn't it
like one of them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're related, so Chase seems to be having some connectivity issues. I don't know what. He's in and out of this room. Honestly, I don't blame you. If you're listening and you're staying in the room, unlike Chase, we give you a huge shout out. Tweet at us, take a picture, post it to your Instagram story, tag us. We'll show you all the love because we can't thank you enough for showing us all the love. I'm going to pause it for 1 second. You won't even hear the difference, but we're going to bring Chase back, and poof, Chase is back just like that. And Chase, we were talking some Texas, Michigan. What do you have from this game? What's interesting? What's new? And what side are you on?
Yeah, Michigan is actually an underdog at home for the first time since 2021 when they played Ohio State there. They're 7.5 point underdogs. I don't like either. I don't like that line. I'll probably stay away from it. What I like here is the over at 43. Feels really low. I know Michigan is typically like defensive, and defense is usually their specialty as of last year anyway. But Texas has a great offense, so I think if Michigan wants to stay in there, they're going to have to score a lot of points. I think 43 is awfully low for this. But if I had to go somewhere, I'd say, I'd probably go Texas 7.5. I don't think Michigan's the same team. I don't care. It's at home.
Oh, wow.
Texas comes out, probably beats them by 10. Michigan will not cover, similar to Iowa State.
Wow.
Joey's so sick of it. He can't take it anymore. And I'm going to be honest, I cannot take wearing this hat a second longer, dude. It is so hot. Okay, it's not winter. I should not. This hat is like super thermal lined. Like I'm sweating out of my ears right now. So we're going to touch on the Iowa State game so I can take this thing off and hopefully come back down to non-Sahara desert level temperatures underneath my dome here. We're going to try to keep this civil for you viewers, but I have absolutely no promises. Redden, break it down from a unbiased viewpoint, and then we will commence the screaming match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a dog in this fight exactly. I mean, I attend Iowa State. I can't stand Iowa, so in that sense, I want Iowa State to win. But also one of my good friends plays for Iowa, so in that sense, I want him to do well. But from an unbiased perspective, I just don't, based on week one, Iowa looked like what we would expect Iowa to look like pretty much. They looked, well, they always look, really good defense. Offensively, they still didn't look great, but they looked a little more competent than they have in years past, which is interesting. Iowa State, on the other hand, played North Dakota. They didn't look like anything special. Again, defensively, they were pretty solid. I don't know what the over-under is for this game. It should probably be around 20-ish, maybe. But I think it'll be a defensive battle, and I think Iowa gets it done at home. I just don't see Iowa State being able to score more than like 14 to 17 points against Iowa. So, granted, I don't know if Iowa can score that much either now that I say it out loud. But overall, I just feel like at home, Iowa gets it done.
Okay, so all of Redden's fans, round of applause with me. Last time he'll be on the show. Fuck you, Redden. Iowa State is going to fucking win this game by 9 million points. It's going to be over in the first quarter. We're going to have 1 minute, second, third, and fourth quarters. They're going to feel so bad for all the Iowa players who are out there. Oh, my leg. I can't do this anymore, coach. I'm done. I can't take the beating anymore. Iowa State is going to lay the hammer. Okay, they're going to teach Iowa what football is all about. Iowa football, oh, we're tough. Oh, we like corn. Bullshit. Iowa State is going to destroy these motherfuckers, okay? It's not even going to be close. If you're a betting man, bet Iowa State plus 13,000, okay? It's over. That's all I have to say. Chase, what the hell?
You're ridiculous.
Yeah,
You're
that's what
just
I thought.
ridiculous.
ANF is the
You will
lamest
not
thing
come in.
ever. They don't do shit, by the way.
Who's
Real.
that?
ANF. Oh, who's that?
Oh, I
who
didn't
is
hear
that?
what you said. American farmers.
Chase isn't
What the
even a
fuck? You're
Iowa
on
fan.
farmers now? So we can't just keep this between the two football teams. We got to bring farmers in this.
True,
You
that
not
was a
wanna be
bit of a low
fed?
blow. That was a
I
bit
think
of a low
Iowa
blow.
State is more for farmers.
Did you even know what that stood
Yeah.
for?
America needs farmers. Yeah, you guys don't do crap about that. Iowa State does crap about it. We have the Sioux Cup end zone. Okay, we support Case IH, which is real tractors, and we bring corn to Iowa.
We feed families. Chase, stand up. Stand
Then-
up for me.
Then
Walk.
why aren't you guys
stand
ANF?
up. Chase, stand up. I want to see your shorts. Chase, stand up. Get up
I'm
on
in-
your chair if
I'm
you
in
got
jeans.
to. Yeah, get up on your chair if you got to. Gentlemen, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You want to know how I know that Iowa State's going to win this week? Because I came prepared. Just like Iowa State's going to on Saturday. Iowa State is going to win this game. Okay? And if they're going to come prepared on the offensive side of the ball, they're going to come prepared on the defensive side of the ball. All the Iowa fans in Kinnick Stadium, oh, they're doing a nice little wave. Oh, hi, kids. Oh, I forgot we were playing a football game. Iowa State's there to maul, okay? They're going to run all over every single one of your players. I don't even care if he's missing a leg. That kid's getting trucked, okay? It's over for Iowa. I don't care. I don't even care. You can bring up the new offense from Iowa. You can bring up Iowa State missing a linebacker. I don't even care. Iowa State has it in their heart, okay? We know we need to win this game to go on our path to win the national title, okay? No one's getting in our way.
Is that Iowa State in Iowa games are responsible for at least 50% of scoregamis ever in college football. No, I'm just joking.
It would make sense, like
Yeah.
4-3.
Yeah, we have a 19-18 or a 17-13. I don't think Iowa is gonna beat Iowa State by too much because Iowa State's gonna beat Iowa.
Whoa, did
Well
you hear
said.
that?
No, he said Iowa State's gonna be. At first, I was also whoa.
Gotcha.
And then he got me. He had me in the first half. Not gonna lie, Chase. You can't add anything else to this conversation. You'll never convince me. Joey and I are on the same page. Chase, I'm sorry you showed up in jeans. I did not tell you I'd be wearing Iowa State shorts. But guess what? No one tells everyone what they're going to do when they show up to the games on Saturdays, okay? There's no more Connor Stallions, okay? It is Iowa State versus the Pilgrims. Iowa State knows how to play football. Guys from the 18th century don't. Period. We're going to score touchdowns. Iowa's not. End of story. Iowa State wins it by 19 million. If you're a betting man, you know what to do. We will see you guys on the other side for some NFL divisional breakdowns.
2.5 Iowa.
No.
2.5.
See
It's
this?
too easy. It's free money.
2.5.
Joey, give it to me.
Close.
Yes, sir. And it's not going to be close. We're going to come in like a cyclone. We're going to tear up the whole stadium.
We have an offense now.
You guys played North Dakota. What are you talking about? You put up 21 against North Dakota. And you let him score.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the other side for some NFL.
What's going on?
No, I was going to bring that up. Just to recap, so far Iowa State fans have attacked farmers and children with cancer.
I didn't attack the children.
Crazy.
I attacked the people going to say hi to the children, not the children themselves. Look at this. I even made the keyboard yellow and gold, or gold and cardinal for this.
Beautiful.
It's going to try hard, but all right.
That's how much this game means to me, okay? And I'm not fucking around.
This episode of Marv on Air is brought to you by Poncheros. If you love football and you love burritos, you'll love Poncheros. Poncheros is the perfect tailgate snack, whether at the big game or at home. Poncheros has you covered. Head on down to Poncheros and grab your burrito today to make your football season even better. My go-to is double chicken, but you can customize your burrito however you feel fit. Extra queso? Poncheros has it. Salsa? You got it. Want your burrito double wrapped? That is not a problem. That's the beauty of Poncheros. It's your burrito, your way. So head on down to Poncheros and get yours made better built. Now, here's the NFL Division Power Rankings.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us after that shit show. We're very calmed down now. We have reached even keel. My hot head is cooled off. I finally got to take off the stocking cap. Thank God I was very, very hot in that stocking cap. Now, all four of us, we are here. We are here. We are here. Horton Hears a Who, one of the greatest movies of all time. Now, we're going to be breaking down the NFL divisions. Chase. And Chase and I are going to be breaking down kind of who we think is going to win each division, while Redden and Joey lead the charge on what divisions are best in the NFL right now. We went a little 50-50, little zone action on this whole slate. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Redden, what do we got?
Yeah, so we're going to go in reverse order here. We're not going to give you number 1 first. That would make too much logical sense. We're going to give you number 8 first. My apologies. The division, which is a collection of 4 teams, which one we think is the worst. Me and Joey came to a consensus. We have the NFC South being the worst division in pro football this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just have Bryce Young as one of the main quarterbacks on the Panthers. You got the Saints. Chris Olave, maybe, is that Taysom Hill. I think the 2 teams that are the best in that are the Falcons. It's a lot of teeter-totter there. But I think overall, maybe the Buccaneers come out with division winning over there, if you guys agree, Nick and Chase.
Chase, what do you have? Because I don't know if I necessarily agree.
I have the Falcons winning the division.
Yeah, Chase and I have been on the same page
So
on
we
everything
agree.
today, apparently, except for the Iowa State game. I think the Falcons are going to be potentially really,
And
really
hating
good
on
this year.
kids, I guess, but that's fine.
Whoa. Let's pump the brakes.
That was a heat of the moment thing. It's right.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. Also, let's just clarify, was not attacking the children, attacking the people that are waving at the children. Children are great. Children with cancer, the best. We wish them the best. Anyways, so yeah, I do like the Falcons. Guys, can we relax here for a second?
Yeah. Hey, I support rescue here too.
We do.
Why?
We support all people. Everyone's dealing with something. Okay, everyone's got something. Everyone's going through their own battles. Let's just all
Do we have a
remember
dumb
that.
button? Get out. Get out.
Yeah, just move
Let's
on.
Get out.
Remember
Move
that.
on. You're not
Remember
helping
that.
yourself here.
Next time you
Get
talk to
out.
somebody, remember they're dealing with their own battles. Everyone's going through something. Hey, wish everyone the best. Keep it moving. Now, keeping it moving. Falcons, I do think will win this division. Chase agrees. Joey, did you go Buccaneers? I don't know if I like that play.
I think Buccaneers. I feel like the Falcons are just a little bit too much of like I said, teeter-totter. I don't know if it's gonna go south or north with Kirk Cousins and everything. It looks overall good, but I just don't know the Falcons. It's their first year.
They're very good on paper.
Yeah,
They're very good on paper.
But I want to see it physically.
I agree with that.
Agreed. What do
Seventh
you guys have at
best
7?
division we have here. AFC South.
Yeah.
Both Souths. Terrible.
I think it's really a toss up between both of the Souths. You could really flip a coin and get what you want. But I think overall in the South, I think we have CJ Stroud with the Texans is going to be the best, and possible contenders maybe Colts or Titans. What do you guys think, Chase and Nick?
I think it's
Or do you
got to be
think
the
the Jaguars
Texans.
possibly?
It's got to be the Texans.
I think Texans run away with it. I
Yep.
don't think the Titans even compete.
Good call.
Yeah,
What, do you
Texans
guys
will probably
think,
run away with it.
Texans are going to be in the Super Bowl possibly.
Yeah, no, actually, though. I think they might
same.
represent the AFC potentially. Who do we have at 6 in this divisional ranking after everyone just agreed that the Texans are going to win the Super Bowl this year?
At 6, we have the NFC North, which is an interesting one because there's a lot of upside here, but the Vikings are obviously a dark spot on this division. They lost J.J. McCarthy preseason, so they have Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback right now. I'm not sure Minnesota is going to be very good this year. But then you have Green Bay and Detroit, who both feel like they're poised to be pretty solid in the NFC. Detroit, there's certain people taking them to either make the NFC Championship, some to even win the Super Bowl. Green Bay's they're kind of a contender-ish as well in the NFC. I wouldn't say they're up there with Detroit and San Fran, but I can hear out an argument for Green Bay being a very good team this year. And then Chicago is, I'd say, very similar to Atlanta. Like on paper, they should be very, very good. We'll see how it works in practice. That's what we're going to play the entire season for, I guess. But I guess that's my thoughts on the NFC North.
Interesting. Chase, do you subscribe to the thought that the Packers are going to take it all this year?
Packers or Lions, toss-ups, whoever. If one of them can sweep them, I think that's the
I think this
factor.
is the year for
But
the
it'll
Lions.
probably be a split.
I think Lions. This is their year. They're gonna do. I think Lions actually might get a Super Bowl this year. Put that on paper. I'm putting it on paper right now. Lions Super Bowl.
Lions, Texans Super Bowl would feed families. I think the Lions are the easy pick. I went with the Packers. I would love to see the Bears make some noise, but I don't think they'll do enough to win the division. But who knows? I mean, obviously C.J. Stroud and the Texans looked really good last year. I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before. And Caleb Williams is going into one of the best situations that a rookie quarterback has gone into in recent memory. I mean, realistically. So I'm not going to rule out the Bears. I'm not going to pick them either. I am going to go Packers just because I think there goes Chase. I think Jordan Love is going to be really good. But overall, I do think that it could be the Lions division to lose. Oh, were you just wiping your – okay, and he's gone again. All right.
Honestly,
Hey.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Chase is gone. Let's break down division number 5, Redden.
We have the NFC East slotted here at the number 5 spot. Washington, Dallas, Philly, the Giants. Me personally, I think that this is probably the Eagles coming out of this division. That's just me. I'm a little biased. I do like the Eagles. I think Philly fans are just hilarious because they're just kind of dirtbags, and it's funny to me.
Yeah.
But I have the Eagles here.
See,
yeah,
I went.
I pretty high too.
No, I actually went Commanders here. Obviously, we know it can't be the Cowboys because the Cowboys won it last year. I think the Eagles are in quite a bit of turmoil, and we all know the Giants stink. So I did go Commanders, but could we see the first time that there's been a repeat division winner since what was it, 2002? Say again?
You're taking Commanders? You're actually taking Commanders?
That's going to be my pick. It's my long shot.
What do you think is wrong with the Eagles?
I don't know. Look at the last 7-8 games last year. I wonder if that carries over. Obviously, they lost Jason Kelsey. They did pick up Saquon. I think there is potential, but I feel like I'm flipping the coin on either one, and I would rather flip the coin on the Commanders and pull the longer odds than pull from the Eagles.
I hear you.
I gotcha. At the 4th spot, we have the NFC West: San Francisco, the Rams, Seattle, Arizona. This one, I personally think the Rams are going to be pretty good this year. Sean McVay's a solid coach. San Francisco brings back a ton of guys. They have two, I would say, top for the NFC, two top 5 teams. That makes them a pretty good division. Who knows what's going to happen with Arizona? They could go any which way. Another team that on paper people are optimistic about, but we'll see how that looks in practice. And then Seattle, another one. It's like, who knows what's going to happen.
I got a hot take right here.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
All right. I think the Seahawks are going to win it. Win
The
that
division?
Yeah,
Really?
I think 49ers are
Wow.
going to play safe. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be hurt, and they're going to have to, load manage him. And I think the 49ers aren't going to get that many wins. I think the Seahawks take the division, but I think 49ers will do well in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are obviously the team to pick here. I don't know
Yeah, I
if
just
Seattle is a bad pick necessarily, but
I mean, Rams. I could see Rams potentially with Cup, Puka, and Stafford, but I just am a Geno believer.
yeah, I don't know. I have to go 49ers. I don't see any other way around it. What do we have up next, boys?
Up next, we have the AFC West. This is a very top-heavy division. They have the Chiefs. That's kind of the assessment on the AFC West. Who knows what we're going to get out of the Chargers? It'll be interesting to see what Harbaugh does. I think they'll be better than last year just because they have Harbaugh. It'll be interesting. Denver's interesting. I was high on Bo Nix. I thought he should have been drafted ahead of Michael Penix personally. I thought that he was probably the 3rd best quarterback in that draft class. He's now the starter. We'll see how he pans out. And then Vegas. Vegas will be good defensively. Offensively, I think McConnell's their quarterback, which I don't know how that happened.
Trubisky.
Is it? I don't know. Regardless,
I think they're playing both, though.
they don't have a quarterback essentially in Vegas. If you have 2, you have 0. So Vegas will probably be pretty bad, but top heavy, Kansas City's in this division. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah, I agree, Chiefs. But one of the coolest things about the Broncos is that Sean Payton's developing this whole offense around Bo Nix, and Bo Nix is his man. And honestly, I'd love to see where the Broncos head this season. Are they going to be a over 500 team or below 500 team? I think they're going to be above.
I think they could be really good. I would love to see the Broncos really make some noise. It's a bit of a gamble, and obviously it's hard to bet against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, right? Like, that's just who they are. But I would really love to see Bo Nix make some noise. I mean, it's the same situation we're seeing in Chicago, kind of, and it's the same parallels. So, Chase, do you think that the Broncos could be any good this year? Of course, we didn't get his audio.
Another thing I thought was funny about this thing is that I saw this. The Broncos play the Steelers, and it's titled "The Revenge Game of Russell Wilson versus the Broncos and Sean Payton," and I'm just thinking, I don't know if Russell Wilson's still going to be starting for them. When does that happen? Let me search up Broncos versus.
Well, Russell Wilson in Denver was really a very interesting experiment. Overall, I thought it was a bit of a loss, wouldn't you say?
Definitely a loss, considering what they gave up.
They're paying him to go to the Steelers right now. It's insane.
One way or the other, doesn't matter because no team in that division is winning the Super Bowl. A division with a couple teams that I feel like could win the Super Bowl. Our second-ranked division, the AFC East. Buffalo, the Jets, New England, who's now winning the Super Bowl chips, and then Miami.
Okay.
Well, they're the one team realistically that has no shot of winning the Super Bowl here. I can hear a pitch for every other team.
Wait,
even the Panthers?
Huh?
No. They should tank.
No, okay, honestly, I think that's the greatest play by the Patriots is playing Jacoby Brissett. Keep your man Drake May in the back. Let him learn. And honestly, Patriots, sit back for a year and trust in Drake May.
Yep. Try to lose. You want them to lose this year, Nick.
Yeah, you want them to lose.
You don't want them to go 500 and then you have the 18th pick.
Yeah.
It's then you're in no man's land forever. You're the Saints.
Honestly, just get a couple reps with Drake May. Let me get a little bit of experience. Get a first pick, and then just set up next year. Set up.
there's a couple of Patriots Twitter accounts that really want us to try to win this year. I don't know if that's a play. I'm going to be completely honest. I think maybe not necessarily tanking, but embracing the fact that we're not going to be good is maybe a little bit of a better play. Chase, go ahead and try to chime in here. You might be a mime for the rest of the episode. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chase's audio. Sorry, guys.
I like him better this way.
Honestly,
Yeah,
you can go ahead and communicate via ASL. We do need to figure out the guest situation before we have guests on. It kicked him out. It wasn't it was most likely his fault, but it did kick him out. So not really sure what we're going to do about that. We'll talk about that moving forward. But yeah, I think coming out of this division, it's the Jets' division to lose. I think the Patriots will probably end up going 4 or 5 wins. We'll win too many games. We'll pick 10th. I don't know if I like that.
The Jets?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the Jets. It's gonna be Texans. It's gonna be Texans Jets in the AFC Championship game.
I don't think we were alive when Aaron Rodgers debuted in the NFL.
Yeah.
The dude's like 85 years old.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Robert Salah is not a good coach.
That is also true. Okay, there are many things that can be true, but also what can be true.
Patriots, correct?
Jets.
Say that again.
Oh wait.
Jared Mayo's the
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, one of the biggest things I hate about Mayo is that the whole entire Patriots, they're not taking him seriously. They're like, oh, we got a man softer than Belichick, and we're gonna push him.
I don't know. I think it's Buffalo's division. They still have Josh Allen. Is Sean McDermott a good coach? Probably.
They
not
don't have any secondary.
But they have Josh Allen.
Chase, if you want to write it down on a piece of paper and put your pick up, you definitely can. For those of you listening, Chase will be mute for the rest of the episode. We apologize. What is an episode of Marv on Air without technical difficulties? Honestly, that's kind of our thing at this point. I don't like the Bills' secondary. I think the Jets have more upside, and the Dolphins will find themselves in that 9-8, 10-win range yet again. Chase,
but they'll have 6 wins in the first 8 weeks, and then it gets cold.
Yeah, I could see McDaniels kind of getting some W's.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. Chase will chime in once he figures out how to write, learns his ABCs. But can we move on to the next division to keep things moving?
The last one.
Yeah, if you're doing math, you know what division's left, and that is the AFC North. The top to bottom, I would say, best division. They have 2, I would say, Super Bowl contenders in Baltimore and Cincinnati. Cleveland, who knows exactly what will happen there. But there's a good chance that even though this division beats up on each other so much, there's a good chance that Cleveland is still like right around 500. Could be above, could be below, but I expect them to be right around there. And then honestly, same thing with Pittsburgh. I don't think Russell Wilson's very good, but I do believe in Mike Tomlin, and I know that he somehow just I don't know how he does it, but he somehow just gets any iteration of the Steelers you can possibly imagine to being above 500. So top to bottom, I feel like this is the best division in football.
Yeah, I like that. I want Ravens. I want that 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson, fucking serving it to the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Browns.
I think the Ravens are going to win this division. I agree. It's a very, very good division. You got to win. You're playing, is it 6, right? 6 games against high level opponents, and they might beat up on each other. We might see someone kind of come out on top. I think the Ravens, if they can stay healthy, are the team to beat. But overall, it's going to be one of the most fun divisions to break down every week.
I think they might have one of the best defenses in the NFL this season too.
Kyle Hamilton, that 6'4" safety, is unbelievable.
Yep.
He's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. First time we'll have a safety or a secondary player since 2019 or whatever it was, when I think Gilmore won it with the Patriots. Chase is back.
I got it. We're good.
Oh! Bang!
This is like an Iowa fan just finding out fire exists.
Yeah.
We're like, whoa.
Oh, we can.
Iowa fan happy.
Wow. Okay, well,
this is just a lot of slack coming from 2 teams that haven't beat us very often in a while.
Sorry, can Iowa fans figure out how to connect properly or what?
That was probably the greatest.
I got
of
it
all
now.
time.
I got it.
That was awesome. We'll talk more on how Chase was able to fix that in a little bit. Chase, do you have any touching words? I guess that's not a great way to say it, but words on the last 4 or 5 divisions. If you heard them at all, who do you think could be winners, and who do you think is overrated?
I think the AFC East is way too high. I don't think the Bills and Patriots are going to be any good at all. Bills are just going to they've lost everyone. I mean, I don't know who Josh Allen will throw the ball to besides Kincaid.
Himself. Keon Coleman.
But that doesn't work. He will be a dog, I think. He'll actually be good, but it doesn't matter. They'll probably go around 500. Patriots should try to lose every single game this year. But besides that, I like the Ravens, obviously, too. You guys touched on that. I think it'll be between the Ravens and Bengals. But Steelers will go around 500 again. That is a really tough division. I think all the teams will be pretty solid.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have any last words?
Well, I just wanted to talk about an interesting game that I'll definitely be watching this weekend. It's going to be Broncos and Seahawks. I just want to see those two teams play each other. And
Should be a good game.
I think it's going to be.
You were high on both teams.
Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be awesome. And also, upset alert. Panthers over Saints. Not much of an upset, but I can see Bryce Young coming out. And
No.
honestly, Chase, that's not like
direct shot.
I didn't even realize what I was doing until halfway speaking. I'm not even joking. But honestly, give me Panthers over the Saints. Nothing up Chase Malloy there until now. It's actually full cold blood.
Yeah, Chase has been
How are we
catching
feeling
strays.
about? How are we feeling about the first two games? Ravens Chiefs on Thursday, and then Packers Eagles on Friday down in Brazil.
Brazil. That's an interesting one. A lot of those players have kind of been talking about what people are saying they should and shouldn't do. I think overall, it's two of the best games to start the season, right? Like, that's just the way the NFL kind of planned it up. I think, I've been in some Twitter spaces here and there, and people kind of like to dance around that whole, the NFL is, they're putting these games, it's all manufactured, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, we want to see the best teams in prime time, so I don't really know what do they expect them to do? Give us Panthers Saints on Thursday night? I'm not going to watch that. I know Chase will probably be one of 8 viewers because
I don't want to watch that.
I think this year they've really made it like they gave us a lot of nice primetime games.
They've dialed it up, and granted, if there's injuries, it's all mute. But
true, you're right.
But where we're at right now,
I want Ravens. I think Chiefs are a good team, but I don't know if it's just my brain, but I feel like the Chiefs always just kind of struggle at the first start of the season.
That's fair.
Early season, it seems like it.
Yeah, so I want Ravens in that game. Give me Ravens, whatever spread.
Isn't Brazil like really, really high in altitude?
I'm gonna go with no.
I think it is. I think
right by the ocean.
It's like up there with Denver. I think it might even be taller than more more altitude high.
I'm gonna guess absolutely not.
Chase is our Jamie on that right now.
Sao Paulo or something?
That sounds right. I just know.
Where's that being played? Do we know?
Sao Paulo, would say.
It has an elevation of 2,500 feet.
Okay, well,
that's like half of Denver.
Yeah, that's still pretty high, so that could play a role in that game. We'll have to see if maybe the altitude play. I mean, who knows? Probably not, but that could be another thing we got to factor in. And I think this is going to be a really fun, kind of start to the NFL season. I don't know if you guys saw next year we could potentially be looking at Labor Day weekend games, but for now, I'm glad we're finally here. We're finally at the start of the NFL season. College football gets it all rolling a week early. I love the way that football is all the way back. Thank God. It's been the longest offseason of all time. And now, after the longest wait of all time, if you are here to listen to our Zero or Hero segment, our brand new segment airing today, you've made it, okay? And if you are listening now, okay, if you made it to this point in the episode, you're a true fan. I want to see it. I want you to post a picture where you're listening to us, whether it's podcast, whether it's YouTube. Post a picture, put it on your Instagram story, tag us on Twitter, and everyone will be entered into some sort of giveaway. I'm not going to disclose what the giveaway is yet, and I know that that's like the worst thing you can possibly do, but
it's a $1 bill. We're going to mail you a $1 bill.
We will mail you $1 because you guys are what makes this show go, and we appreciate you guys. And the fact that you're still here at this point, after all the technical difficulties, after all the atrocious takes and yelling, says a lot. So we do definitely appreciate you guys. Now, for our final segment of September 3rd, 2024, week 2 of Marv on Air. Redden, will you break down what this Zero Hero segment is? Is there a better name for that? And what can the fans expect from all 4 of us here today?
Yeah, I mean, hero and zero of the week, it's pretty much just breaking down, who's your hero of the week? It could be anything from sports related to something happened funny in pop culture or whatever. And then zero, same thing, but instead of being a good thing, it's a bad thing. You don't want to be a zero of the week. That's not good. Starting it off here, my hero of the week is my personal hero, Dylan Raiola. He looks like he's going to bring Nebraska back to the promised land. He looks like he's going to at least be a competent quarterback, which is something I haven't been able to watch as a Nebraska fan for the better part of the last decade. So I'm really high on Dylan Raiola. I'm excited to see what happens. If he beats Colorado, I might just Venmo him $8 million that I don't have. But my hero of the week is Dylan Raiola. My zero of the week, though, on the other hand, my apologies, is people who hate Northwestern Stadium. Their stadium that they're playing in right now, their practice facility that is right on Lake Michigan, is incredible. I don't know if you people have seen pictures of it, but it's insane. I think it only seats like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people, but it's just right on the beach of Lake Michigan, which will probably be terrible in November, but in September it looks pretty cool. People who hate Northwestern's temporary stadium are my zero of the week.
No, their stadium is sick. I definitely am a big fan. Chase, what do we have for your zero and hero of this week?
My hero of the week is Scotty Scheffler. He recently it came out that he won $66 million this year from golf tournaments, and that is just my dream to be able to be a millionaire playing golf. I mean, he was outstanding this year. Played really well. People say Colin Morikawa outplayed him this weekend. I didn't know that stat, but that's insane. I mean, he's on like a Tiger-like run right now. My zero, DJ Ukulele, the Florida State quarterback. He is a bum. He sucks. He has brought this team from a top 10 team to not even ranked. It might be the biggest downgrade at quarterback we've ever seen. Actually, he might have that as well when they went from
Trevor
Lawrence to him at Clemson. Yeah. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of him. I've won a lot of bets off preying on their downfall, or 2 this year so far, but that's besides the point.
Okay, Joey, can you outdo DJ Ukulele?
Hopefully. Okay, wait. So my hero is Trent Williams for getting a bag this weekend, okay? Trent Williams got paid $82.66 million deal that includes $48 million at the signing. 49ers said, protect this Purdy, and Trent Williams said, I will, but for $82.66 million. Okay, and then my zero of the week is actually kind of in the future, and it's not a person, it's more of an entity. It is the Vikings versus the Giants. You have a Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones situation, and I think that is the biggest zero that anybody could ever get. I wouldn't force a Cuban island terrorist to watch. Okay, I don't think anybody in Minnesota is going to want to watch that game because their eyes will be bleeding.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Joey, you gave me some inspiration, actually. So my original zero, I'm going to go zero first and then go hero into this NFL Week 1 and send us off on a good note. My first zero originally was 321 Noel. If you're not familiar, he tweeted out, if Florida State loses to BC this weekend, I will eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and post a video of me doing it. Book it. He deleted his Twitter account in the second quarter. He knew it was over. The internet is currently searching for this man. We're going to make him do it. But currently, that guy has got to be in the worst situation, I think probably of anybody right now. That's definitely not a good I mean, I didn't I didn't know people were searching for him until I looked for this tweet because he's gone. It's deleted. So I went for the graphic, and all of Twitter is like, we're looking for this guy. We're going to make him eat dog shit. He's going to be walking down the street going like, yeah, I'm going to go get groceries. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, honey. I'm going to be walking into Walmart right now. Hangs up. Some guy's going to be running up with a red Solo cup of dog shit, force feeding him. I would not want to be this guy right now. He's public enemy number one. The deleting of the Twitter account, I think, is what people don't necessarily love that. But my my per Joey 0 of the week is every Iowa fan ever after losing this weekend to Iowa State. It's going to be rough. It is. You lose the in-state rivalry again, and roll clones, baby. Okay, for my hero of the week, this guy stood out amongst a great opening weekend of college football. I thought there were a lot of great games. There were a lot of great plays. USC had a couple of one-handed catches on primetime. Obviously, everybody saw those. But this player kind of snuck under the radar, being from, I think it's the MAC, but if I'm wrong, and Red will correct me. Mountain West. I knew it was one of those. Ashton Jeanty. I'm butchering it, but I do apologize. If he sees this, you are the fucking man. 20 carries, 267 yards, 6 touchdowns in one game. He was playing essentially a JV team. I don't even know if Caden Weegan was putting up those kinds of numbers in JV or J-High. I mean, that's unbelievable. He had a 77-yard long, and I think he broke 2 more for 50-plus. That's not a stat that I have pulled, but, I mean, it just seemed like every time he got the ball, he was finding the hole, attacking the hole, and getting gone. Dude put the boosters on multiple times and got in the end zone 6 different times. Just absolute weapon. We saw a lot of dominant performances, but none quite like Jeanty, or let's just call him Ashton. Absolute legend. Just like all of you listening to this show, if you made it this far, you are a real one. I don't know why you would have, but if you did enjoy the show, be sure to tell someone about it. Tell them it's a little bit of a break. You know, it's just a bunch of guys talking bullshit from, you know, that daily life that we all kind of are looking to escape every now and then. We appreciate you guys stopping by. We can't wait for NFL Week 1. We're going to be back to recap everything that happened in Week 1 of the NFL and Week 2 of college football. We'll be doing a little preview next week as well. And look out for our Zero to Hero segment. Yet again, next week, I'm looking to make this potentially a regular thing because I like it to wrap up our episodes. Redden, would you do me the honors of closing out Episode 2 of Marv on Air?
Deuces.